Dear students, welcome to next video of chemistry where we will start chapter 2 elements, compounds and mixtures. These all are elements: salt, water, sugar, all are compounds and soil is a mixture. Now students, first of all tell me what is matter? Yes, anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. For example, book we can say, table we can say, pencil, etc. So these all are matters because these all things occupy space as well as they have mass. Now this matter is classified into two groups. First classification we have pure substance and second classification we have impure substance. A kind of matter consists of same type of particles, known as pure substance. So a matter consists of same type of particles known as pure substance, and a kind of matter consists of different kind of particles, or we can say different type of particles is known as impure substance. As from the name we can understood that impure substances consist of different type of particles, and pure means they consist of same type of particles. So same means pure and different particles means impure. Next we have classifications of pure substances. Pure substances are further divided into two types. First type we have element and second type is compound. Pure substances are of two types, element and compound. And impure substances are referred as mixtures. Here you can see substances are made up of matter, and matter is classified into two groups, pure substances and impure substances. Underline. Matter is classified into two groups, pure substances and impure substances. Now, a pure substance is a kind of matter which consists of same type of particles. Underline, same type of particles that cannot be separated into its components by physical methods. So, pure substance is made up of, we can say, same type of particles and cannot be separated into its components by physical methods. Physical methods like filtration, evaporation, distillation, etc. Now, these pure substances are further classified into two types. That is, we can say elements and compounds are pure substances. So, pure substances are of two types. Underline, elements and compounds. And these elements and compounds we will study one by one. First we have elements. See, what are elements? Elements are pure substances which can neither be broken down into further simpler substances and nor formed. Underline two words. They can neither be broken down, neither be broken down and nor formed. So what are elements? Elements are pure substances which can neither be broken down into further simpler substances and nor formed from two or more simpler substances by physical as well as chemical methods. So they cannot be broken down nor be formed by any physical as well as chemical methods. Here we have few examples of elements. You can see solid iodine is an example of element. Then lead, which is poisonous in nature. Aluminium, cooking foil. Then chlorine, liquid in nature. Then copper, then oxygen, then sulfur, then mercury, magnesium and iron, which is metallic in nature. Next, all substances on the earth are chemically made up of either one element or two or more elements. So all the substances on earth are made up of either one element, underline, or two elements or more than two elements. So far 120 elements are known, out of which 92 are naturally occurring in earth crust and rest have been prepared artificially by man. So some elements are artificially created by scientists, that is radioactive elements. We can say radioactive elements are artificially created by scientists. Next we have more to learn about chemical states of matter. And the very first point is there are different kinds of substances, and the study of these substances without placing them in similar groups would make the study of matter very difficult. So in order to make it easier, we will divide all substances into three major groups. So these groups are like elements, compounds and mixtures, and this grouping is done on the basis of their properties. This is second point. And in third point it is written that the most abundant elements in the earth crust are, underline, silicon, then aluminium, iron, carbon, sodium and potassium. These are the most abundant elements in earth's crust. And fourth point is in the universe, hydrogen and helium, underline, hydrogen and helium both are elements, and they are the main elements which are present in stars. They are present in stars and make up to 98% of their mass. So this is all about chemical states of matter. Next we have some examples of solid, liquid and gaseous elements. Solid elements are like gold, silver, iron, copper, lead, aluminium, zinc, sodium, carbon, iodine, etc. And liquid elements are mercury and bromine. Mercury and bromine both are liquid elements. Then gaseous elements are like oxygen, nitrogen, this we know, that components of air. Oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, chlorine, fluorine, helium and neon. Helium and neon both are inert gases, that is not reactive gases. So these all are gaseous elements, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, etc. Next, characteristics of elements. First characteristic is an element is a pure substance. We know, because element is made up of same type of particles. Second, it is made up of only one kind of particles. Element is a pure substance and it is made up of only one kind of particles. Then elements may occur naturally or may be prepared artificially by man. Then elements exist in all the three physical states that we can see here: solid elements, then liquid elements, then gaseous elements. We already have done. Next topic we have classification of elements. These elements are classified into, first is metals, second, non-metals, then third, metalloids, and fourth classification is noble gases. Here in book you can see elements are classified as metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases or inert gases. Underline: metals, non-metals, metalloids, noble gases or inert gases, means not reactive gases. Now in order to understand these metals, non-metals and metalloids, you should know about different terms, and next we are going to study about these terms. The first term we have luster. Substances which have a shine on their surface, underline, which have a shine on their surface are called lustrous substances. So, and the quality of shining is known as luster. So any substance having shine on their surface we can say known as lustrous substance. And example, like we have gold. Then next property is malleability. Certain substances can be hammered or rolled into thin sheets without breaking. Underline: can be hammered or rolled into thin sheets without breaking, and these substances are called malleable substances. For example, gold, aluminium, silver and copper, and this property is called as malleability. Malleability means substance can be hammered into thin sheet. Then next property is ductility. Certain substances can be drawn into thin wires, underline, can be drawn into thin wires without breaking. Such substances are called ductile. For example, gold, silver, copper, platinum, etc. So, and this property is known as ductility. Ductility means substance can be drawn into thin wire. Next property is conductivity. Substances that allow heat and electricity to pass through them are called good conductors. Underline: good conductors and bad conductors. So substances that allow heat and electricity to pass through them are called good conductors, and substances that do not allow electricity as well as heat to pass through them are called bad conductors. Bad conductors or insulators. Now examples of good conductors are like copper, silver and aluminium, whereas wood, rubber and plastic all are bad conductors of heat as well as electricity, that is they are insulators. Wood, rubber and plastic all are insulators. Now the property of conducting heat as well as electricity is known as conductivity. I am going to repeat again. What is luster? Luster means shining. Then malleability means something can be hammered into thin sheets. Then ductility. Ductility means something can be drawn into thin wires. Then conductivity means a substance that allow both heat as well as electricity to pass through them is called as good conductor of electricity, and the property is known as conductivity.